Hi everyone, it's Gagajoy, and I have a question for you. Do you have a favorite comfort food? You know, I think we all do, and what's even funnier is that most of my circle of friends, I've had friends for about 60 years, we all like the same one. So that makes it simple. Mine is like a retro. This was from my childhood. My mother always did this, and the thing that is, I use a whole can of tomatoes. It's just tomatoes and dumplings, what I'm going to make, and 2 cups of tomato juice. There's just not enough tomato juice in it, and tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon and a half of salt, and a teaspoon of pepper. I like pepper in mine too. And maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. That would do. And basically that's just it. I'm going to put dumplings in it and let the dumplings cook. I'm getting ready to make my dumplings. Let me know what your favorite comfort food is. My kids do not like this. This is not something they would eat. But I can tell my husband and they also know if they come to my house and I'm cooking it, they'll go, "Aren't you feeling well?" So they know that a lot of it. But I just like to cook it for some reason. Now, Mom would always use biscuit dough. And she would cook, instead of putting hers on the stove top, she put hers in the oven. So she would put a layer of tomatoes, her biscuit dough. She always put cheese in hers. I don't put cheese in mine. And she would cook it in the oven. And we grew up with that one. I think I changed mine later in life when I got married. My one day, not too many years ago, I went to a church function, and the ladies there, it was like just a wonderful luncheon, and there was this, and I knew, and of course I was the one who took the little bowl and got me a big bowl of it, but I was the only one that day that ate it, and I knew it was because it was a retro meal. Most of the kids were there, was a lot younger than I was. The lady who made it was about my age. And so I respected her. And when I was taking her dishes up, I told her, I said, "Gee, that was the best thing here today." And so I did enjoy it. And she said, "But nobody ate it." And I said, "I think it's because nobody really had been, used to it." So anyway, I took 2 cups of biscuit mix. You can use any that you want. I usually get the one on sale. And about a half a cup or more. I use a half a cup of buttermilk. And if you want to use regular milk, actually you may be able to use biscuits. I haven't used biscuits, but it's possible that you could use biscuits. So I'm going to bring my tomatoes to boil. My little stove is not working. But then it's been that kind of week. Anyway, I'm going to put my dumplings in. Let my tomatoes come to a boil. And then I'll drop my dumplings in. My tomatoes are boiling, so I'm going to sit up here so I can show you the way I do it. Now I did put a half a teaspoon of baking soda in my dumplings here. anytime you use buttermilk, it's probably a good idea to always use the baking soda. Now I've got my dumplings, see, they're sticky. That's about how thick I want them. I guess it's maybe a tablespoon at a time. That would be a good one. Usually when I make these, I always make something else for my children, but nobody's here today, so I thought this would be a really good day for my retro tomatoes and dumplings. And one more. Now, sort of cover them, stir them one time. Put it back to cook. Bring it back up to a boil, and when it starts to boil, which it did quickly, you put the top on it, and when it starts to boil real good, you'll see how it starts to raise. And I put it down on low, and I don't take the top off for 20 minutes so that the leavening doesn't get out, the heat and everything. It makes them pretty fluffy. And remember, I told you yesterday that when you go to my video, if you look up in the right-hand corner, you will always see the recipe. If you ever have any trouble with the recipe, and you know my mouth, it doesn't work the same way as the print does. So if you have any trouble, just let me know, because I'm pretty good about answering right away. Yep, they just started. So down we go. Well, I think our time is up. It's been on 20 minutes. You see the tomatoes and dumplings? Well, they're very hot, I know that. I don't know what makes it seem so hotter than most things are, but anytime I make them, they get very hot. I always get burned. My tongue. And the good thing about it is they're good for the next day. Also, you know, I have a couple of friends that do the very same thing that I do, but instead of adding the dumplings or in the bread, they put macaroni in theirs. So that's good too. Oh, yeah. That's another good food, comfort food. If I can get a bite without burning my mouth, I will be happy. A happy time. A happy place. Well, this is just a little retro tomatoes and dumplings. I'm telling you, it's good. This is very satisfying to me. Have a good evening. Remember the joy. And we're hoping this COVID's going to be gone pretty soon. And if you're home with the COVID, you might like this. And take care of yourself. See you soon.